Hallo, wie geht es euch Leute? Ich hoffe alles ist gut. So already making short sentences? Well, you need more words and as well as verbs. So in the previous video, we discussed about personal pronoun, and today we will see what is a verb and how we can conjugate it easily in German. So without the further ado, let's begin. Verb. Was ist ein Verb? First, I will show you important points to understand what is verb. We will also see these points with the perspective of learning German verbs. So the first point is, a verb is a word which shows us action or position or being. Whether we are putting something somewhere, it can be a thing. The original form of a verb is called the infinitive form. This infinitive form is conjugated according to the subject of the sentence and is called conjugated form. So the form the verb is in before we conjugate it is infinitive form. The conjugation depends upon the number and person, whether it is first, second or third person. So the verb must be conjugated according to the subject in the sentence. In German, all the verbs end with either en ending or n ending. To conjugate the verb, en is removed. This en means the ending of the infinitive form of the verb, and the ending is applied according to the rules. Now, we will see these rules further in the video, but first, let's see an example of verb. Verb structure, which is verb structure. We will see here the structure of the verb. I will give you an example of infinitive verb bringen, which means to bring. Now we will divide it in two parts. First one is bring and the second is an, the ending. The bring part we can say is verb stem of the verb, which is stem of verb, or you can say root of the verb, and the other part is ending or endung, which will always be en or n. So now you know the structure of the verb. The question arises, how conjugation is done? Conjugation depends upon the subject of the sentence. We simply remove the ending en and put the ending according to the rules. Now by subject I mean whether we're talking about first, second or third person. You can also say we conjugate verb according to the personal pronoun, which we have done already in the previous video, or the factor, that if it's singular or plural, the thing. Now I will give you two examples. Now I will show you two examples. The first one is in first person. Ich bringe dir einen Kaffee. Second one is third person. Was bringen Sie mir? It's a question. Now both sentences have same verb bringen, but they are conjugated differently. As you can see, the highlighted ending are different. Now you understand what I mean by verb has to be conjugated according to the subject. The subject in both of these sentences, the first one is ich, and in the second sie, third person they. Now, before we see these endings, let's see two major categories in which the verbs are divided into in German language. Verben. Now we will see two major categories of verbs in German language. Remember, there are more categories, but as a beginner, you should focus on these two first. Regelmäßige Verben and unregelmäßige Verben. Regelmäßige Verben are also called regular verbs or weak verbs. Unregelmäßige Verben called irregular verbs or strong verbs. Now regular or irregular or weak or strong doesn't refer anything with their usage, but only to the changes that occur in them while we conjugate them. It can be subtle changes or strong changes, which we will see by examples. But first we will differentiate between them. So regular verbs change exactly according to the rule. Yes, they are easier to conjugate because the changes occurring in them are subtle changes. Stem of the verb doesn't change. Yes, the stem of the verb, as we see in the verb bringen, the bring part never changes in regelmäßige Verben, whereas in unregelmäßige Verben there is no concrete or exact rule how verb changes when we conjugate them. So they are much more hard to conjugate, but after practicing you can do that. The stem of the verb can change in some cases. Yes, there are some exceptions like the verb sein, where the stem of the verb completely changes, so they don't follow any concrete or similar rules. That's why they're called irregular or unregelmäßige Verben. Now I will show you two examples of them both. First we will do regelmäßige Verben and then unregelmäßige Verben. So the first example is infinitive form of verb kommen, which means to come. Now you see the verbs is still in infinitive form and we will conjugate it now. First person ich komme. Second person informal du kommst. For the third and similarly es kommt. Plural wir kommen. Ihr kommt. Formal sie or informal sie kommen. Now you see the ending of the verb is changing. For first person is e, for first person is a, st, te, an, te, an. Now these are the changes in regelmäßige Verben and they always change like that. This is the rule of this category. On the other hand, in unregelmäßige Verben we have the verb haben, infinitive form haben with the ending of an. Ich habe, yeah, still it's same, but when we go to do, you can see hast. It's not habst, it's hast. The b disappeared, so that's what I mean by they don't follow any rule. And for zs, he, she, or it, it's hat, not habt. The root or stem of the verb also can change. Wir haben, ihr habt. Formal sie or informal sie haben. So the root of the verb changed when we see in do or in zs, it's hast and hat, and while in the other it's same like common, but still these two changes are there, so that's why it's an unregelmäßige Verben. So there you see these changes occur in them while we conjugate them. I will make two videos separately for both of these categories, in which I will also give you top verbs for beginners. I will make two, one for regelmäßige Verben and other for unregelmäßige Verben. But that's it for today. If you like this video and if you subscribe my channel, let me know in the comment section down below, and also if you have any question you can ask that too. For today, goodbye, and I will see you in the next video.